Today and every Monday, we're making sure you understand the law. But before we do that, we have to say this. This segment is for informational purposes only. It does not constitute legal advice. No attorney-client relationship is formed by watching or participating in this segment. Now, you do want to reach out to an attorney if you're seeking any specific legal advice. So, paperwork's out of the way. Bill Kindig from Rice & Kindig here with us in studio on this Monday. And Bill, what happens when an insurance company says you're partially at fault?
Well, Alex, that's a great question. And we see this when it's true,
Right.
but we also see this when it's not true. And Louisiana had a recent change in the law where if the other driver is not at least 51% at fault, you recover nothing. So this is going to become very, very important as we go forward. The time to start thinking about how to defend yourself and prove your case is at the moment you're involved
Right.
in the collision. You need to start looking for witnesses. You need to be mindful of your surroundings. Do not think that just because the other person looks like a nice person that they're going to tell the truth.
Right.
You need to be prepared. But if the insurance company says that you're comparatively at fault, and you know that that's not true, you need to come see us or another lawyer who maybe has access to an understanding of what information may be out there. We talked, and I think we're going to be talking next week about surveillance cameras.
Yeah.
There's surveillance cameras, but most important will be witnesses at the scene, people who just experienced the same thing you did, who, could you please stop, tell the police, what you saw. And hopefully people will be good Samaritans, understanding that if the tables were turned, they're going to find themselves in that same situation. But one of the other important things is mind your language when you're talking to the other driver and when you're
Right.
talking to the police officer. If you are not at fault, don't just come in with the I'm sorries. You can say, are you hurt? Can I call an ambulance for you? What can I do to make you more comfortable? Without actually saying the words I'm sorry.
Right.
Because the statement I'm sorry you're hurting may be misconstrued as I take responsibility for this collision, and that could be held against you in the future. So be a good person, be a nice person. Tend to those who've been injured,
Yeah.
but don't make anything that could be misconstrued as an admission of fault when you're not at fault.
And it is tough to have a clear head when something like that has happened.
Yeah, I'm not going to be riding in the passenger seat with you to say, all right, Alex, here's what I want you to do next. And so I think it is good to, like in all things, you have a plan.
Right.
We drive defensively. If you're involved in a collision, have a plan. Have your documents ready.
Yeah.
Be prepared to answer questions. Take a breath and understand that this may be the most important moment in your case in terms of whether or not it can be successfully proven as you go forward.
And we so often want to take a breather when it comes to anything, but as you're saying, immediately after is really, you really should get to work.
Yeah, get your phone out, take the pictures. Don't drive with your phone.
Don't do that.
But after the wreck, get your phone out and take those pictures. Get identification of folks who are around you. Even if they can't wait for the police, get their name and number so that you can at least call them.
That's some really good advice there. Hopefully people are paying attention out there. Bill, we always thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Let's go to Patrick.